is going on, Trade Bros? It is your Trade Bro here again, starting off on the Bitcoin chart like we always do. But before we get into this, please comment, like, and subscribe, and make sure to watch to the end. It massively helps out the YouTube algorithm and gets us to monetization. So if you're tired of seeing that annoying watermark in the videos, comment, like, subscribe, and watch to the end so we can hit towards monetization. Alright, I don't need to tell anybody, everybody knows. Bitcoin touched 37,000 last night. This came much to the dismay of a lot of analysts, thinking that, I shouldn't say dismay, but it surprised a lot of analysts. A lot of people were saying that we would not see 36,000. Bitcoin shocked them, showed them 37,000. We're right at the bottom of this resistance here. The next, clearing this little trough here, we'd be at 41,000. So that's our next level we're looking at. Some people are looking at 40,200. That's kind of floating in the middle of the range. Bitcoin likes to move through the ranges pretty quickly. So we're looking at 41,000. Obviously looking great. The ETF hype is looking pretty good, and the metrics for Bitcoin are looking pretty good. We're still in the trade. We're holding. We've taken a little bit of profits. We're moving it onto something else and waiting for a little bit of a dip and probably putting in another trade. So we're looking good. As you can see, a lot of green today. Some other things in the red. If your project is in the red, I would be a little bit concerned, but let's move on forward. Let's get into our first article here. This article by Cointelegraph, the SEC's first window to approve all 12 spot Bitcoin ETFs is going to begin today. There is an 8-day window between November 9th and November 17th where all 12 spot Bitcoin ETF filings could be approved by the SEC, according to Bloomberg ETF analysts James Seyfarth and Eric. Not even going to try. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission could approve all 12 of the pending spot Bitcoin ETFs applications within the next 8 days. Bloomberg ETF analysts James Seyfarth and Eric wrote that starting from November 9th in the United States, the SEC has a window to approve all 12 Bitcoin ETFs, including Grayscale's conversion of its GBTC trust product. In the days leading up to November 17th, it stressed that this was only a possibility. James Seyfarth tweeted, new research note for me today. We still believe a 90% chance by January 10th for a spot Bitcoin ETF approval. But if it comes earlier, we are entering a window where a wave of approval orders for all current applicants could occur. Let's see. Delay orders were issued by the SEC for BlackRock, Bitwise, VanEck, WisdomTree, Invesco, Fidelity, and Valkyrie at the same time, wrote Seyfarth. If the agency wants to allow all 12 filers to launch, as we believe, this would be the first available window since Grayscale's court victory was affirmed. The reason for this brief window is that when the SEC extended the deadline for a number of the pending spot Bitcoin ETFs, it selected November 8 as the last day of the comment period. From November 17th, the comment period for 3 filings, including Global X Bitcoin Trust, Hashdex Bitcoin ETX, and Franklin Bitcoin ETF would recommence, meaning that they wouldn't be approved or denied until after November 23rd at the earliest. While the window for accepting all 12 filings ends on November 17th, Seyfarth added that the SEC could technically make a decision on 9 of the 12 anytime before January 10th. I guess these are the deadlines for the ETFs here. As you can see, a lot of them ending on the 17th. We have Valkyries on the 19th, Global X on the 21st. Or sorry, these are the first deadlines here. You see, they could delay it all the way until what is that, June of next year? but I don't think that's very likely. While the approval is in no way guaranteed, both analysts predicting 90% chance of approval sometime before January 10th of next year. While pundits eagerly await the SEC's decision, crypto asset manager Grayscale has reportedly initiated discussions with the regulator concerning its application to convert its GBTC product into a spot Bitcoin ETF. According to sources familiar with the matter, Grayscale has been in contact with both the SEC's Division of Trading and Markets and the Division of Corporate Finance since winning its core battle. As the perceived odds of a Bitcoin ETF being approved have increased, so too has the optimism in the crypto market, with the price of Bitcoin up more than 30% in the last 3 months. Bitcoin's outside rally has buoyed price in other major assets as well. Solana has gained 93%, while Ripple and ETH grew 30 to 20% respectively. Solana is up big, which surprises me because of everything that happened with Sam Bankman-Fried. But we move on. Full note. Oh yeah. So these guys are all in the terminal and stuff like that. The terminal is very expensive. But a lot of good research on there. Moving on to the next article. I don't think I had anything there. Let's move on to this. This is interesting. So, like I said, the metrics of the market are changing. Like I've been saying before, it's not just the Bitcoin ETF that is going to rise the price of Bitcoin. What we have to remember is that we are in liquid markets, meaning supply and demand plays a massive role in these markets, as it does every market. So the more supply and the less demand goes down in price. The less supply, the more demand, it goes up in price. So we're seeing, as we can see here, let me just get to the meat of the article here. The latest data shows that whales persist with their resilient strategy amid the recent price rally, while retail players capitalize on gains. Meanwhile, spot volumes are at historic lows. The derivative values, at the other hand, have reached record highs relative to spot trading. The current spot to derivative volume stands at 0.06, indicating that spot volumes constitute a mere 6%, while derivatives represent 94% of market volumes. This trend was also confirmed by another blockchain intelligence platform, Glassnode, which observed a powerful divergence that has continued to form between the long-term holder and the short-term holder. In its latest analysis, the firm said while long-term supplies is just shy of all-time highs, short-term supply stands at effective all-time lows, demonstrating the growing tightness of the Bitcoin supply, and as existing holders become increasingly unwilling to part with their holdings. Long-term holders historically wait for the market to break to a new all-time high before ramping up their distribution. This process can be seen by the large-scale decline in the supply during the 2021 bull run, which is matched by an uptick in short-term supply, as well as exchange inflow volumes. Besides, the sell-side risk ratio evaluates investor spending behaviors by measuring the absolute value of profit or loss relative to the asset size, realized cap. High values indicate significant profit or loss, while low values suggest that coins spent are near break even. Focusing on short-term holders post the 35K rally, a spike in the ratio suggested a reawakening of young coins, thereby hinting at a near-term profit taking. Long-term holders continue to show a slight increase in the ratio, reminiscent of the 2016 and late 2020 period of a tight overall Bitcoin supply. So what we're saying here, what this whole article is saying here, is that the people aren't selling their Bitcoin. People are holding their Bitcoin. The amount of whales that are taking their coins off of exchanges, outflowing from exchanges, is more, and the people that are selling right now are the retail sellers, obviously getting their bags out that they've been holding. Some people are just tired of it. They just want to get their bags out, but the whales are holding. And we always want to kind of get behind what the whales are doing, because that's really what's going to give us that's where the money is. That's where the intelligence is. Sorry, I got distracted by a minute. Bitcoin's spiking back up towards 37,000 currently. Like I said before, we have a lot of actual metrics working for us, not just hype, not just FOMO. The Bitcoin halving is coming up. Natural sellers of Bitcoin is going to halve. As the Bitcoin price goes up, Bitcoin miners are going to have to sell less anyways. So I'm seeing if we continue to rise, Bitcoin miners, which are the natural sellers of Bitcoin, are probably going to decrease their selling half by the halving, just the amount of Bitcoin going to exchanges, and with the rise in price, probably dropping another 1/8 to 1/4. So we're looking at about a 3/4 drop in the natural selling volume from miners. On top of that, whales are moving off exchanges, making exchange wallets tighter. Public markets make the price. Less supply, more demand equals price increases. Once this spot ETF is passed, that's only going to increase, because they're going to have to sell the shares to buy the underlying and put it into cold storage. So these metrics that are working for us are only going to increase. Right now, as you saw, the spot market is making up 6% of the total trading volume. It's a good metric to look at, because obviously it's a very tight market. And if we're talking about derivatives, we're talking about leverage, which makes move dramatically. So we're looking very good as far as actual fundamental metrics, not just hype and FOMO here. So we're looking good moving forward. We're holding long, we're trading, we're trying to stack as much sats as we can moving forward. Moving on to the last article of the day. Crypto markets gained $50 billion overnight as Bitcoin price explodes to an 18-month high. Bitcoin stood relatively still for a couple days, but soared by over $1.5 grand and in the past 24 hours to reach its highest price since early May 2022. The altcoins have also turned green, with notable price gains from Link and Matic, such as the total market cap has soared to almost 1.4 trillion. It was just a couple of days ago when the primary cryptocurrency slipped under the pressure inserted by the bears to 34,500. However, the bulls were quick to react and didn't allow any further price decline. Just the opposite, Bitcoin went on the offensive to the following hours and spiked to over 36,000 now, after a brief rejection as reported yesterday. The asset initiated another leg up and drove to the same level late last night. This time the bulls were more persistent and drove the cryptocurrency even further north. As a result, Bitcoin spiked to 37,000 for the first time in 18 months, leaving more than $140 million in liquidation. Bitcoin has been unable to overcome the 37,000 line yet, and we're right above that right now. Let's pop back to the chart. We just popped above that right now. Let's go to a smaller time frame, dip down to the 30-minute. And of course it doesn't, no matter how many times I click this. And we spiked right back up. We dojied out a little bit right here. Now we're spiking right back up, and we are above 37,000, guys. What a great way to end the video. As always, guys, we do our research so we're confident. We do our practice so we're confident, and we're holding long. We're trading to stack more sats. I hope you guys are staying safe in the market. As always, nothing said in this video is financial advice, and nothing should be taken as an investment advice. Every investment decision you make is your own decision, and nothing on this channel, no media presented by this channel, is financial advice. That being said, like I said before, comment, like, subscribe, and if you stayed to the end, thank you very much.